Hello and welcome to this new lesson in which we are going to code our ESP board. Now, the first thing that we need to do is open up Arduino software, the software that we are going to use to program Arduino or ESP32. Now, what we need to do in this code is first we need to connect to Wi-Fi network or access point. Then we need to connect to the MQTT broker, and we also need to send every new line received on serial line to the MQTT broker. So Arduino will send data to the serial line and ESP will receive this data and it will send it to the MQTT broker or a web API, whatever you want. It's up to you, but in this course we are using MQTT. Now, create a new sketch. The first thing that we need to do is include some libraries. So we need to include the Wi-Fi library, and we also need to include a public sub-client library, which is basically a client library for the ESP32 that provides support for MQTT. Now just write include hashtag include, then inside it you need to write pub sub client.hex. Now we need to initialize some variables before moving on to the setup and loop functions, and we will start with constant character. For this SID for our Wi-Fi network, and inside here we must write our Wi-Fi network name, and we need another constant character for the password, and we need to write our password here, the Wi-Fi password. After that we need the MQTT server link, so we need to initialize a constant character for MQTT server, and inside here you can write the server name, we can change that later. Now we need to define some variables, so define MQTT port for the MQTT server port, and we need to define a username, so MQTT user, and here we can write the MQTT username. After that we need to define the password, so MQTT password, then we need the serial published channel, so we can simply write define MQTT serial publish channel, and here we can define it depending on what we have. We can change this later. Serial data and on. Okay, now we are done with defining and creating variables and including the libraries. We can move on to the setup Wi-Fi function, but first let's save this work. Now, if you did verify your code, you will see that there is an error. This library is not defined, no such file or directory. So you need to go to Tools, Manage Libraries, and here you need to write public subclient. Then hit enter and it will search for the library. As you can see, this is it, ESP client. Click install and click install all. Now let's verify the code again. As you can see now, it's recognizable. Done compiling, and we don't have any errors. So that's it. This is the first step. Now let's move on. We need to create a new Wi-Fi client object, and we need to create a public sub client object as well. So Wi-Fi client, it will take Wi-Fi client, which is this one, as input, and its name will be client. Now we can verify the code again. Done compiling without errors. That's it. This is the first step in coding our ESP board. Next lesson, we are going to explain how you can create a Wi-Fi connection using the ESP board. Then we will start coding the serial communication module. Thanks for watching this lesson. If you have any question, please ask in the Q&A board.